Hello everyone, welcome back to Sulekha Physics classes. It is the most easiest way to learn all the concept of physics through this class. Hope you all are doing good. Today I am going to start last topic of chapter 2, units and measurement, that is error analysis. We already discussed about measurement, units, dimension analysis. And this last topic is error analysis. This topic is also very important for examination point of view, also for GMains and medical exam. So let us start today's topic, that is error analysis. So first, what is error? No measurement is perfect. When you measure any physical quantity, it is impossible to get its true value, or you can say actual value or perfect value. Right now, there is always some difference between this measured value and true value, and that difference is called error. Okay, so you can write error is difference between true value and measured value. Right? True value is also actual value. And this error is always added, whether you get any value which is greater than the true value or less than the true value. But it means error may be positive or negative, but it is always added, right? So one thing you note down, error may be positive or negative, but it is always added. Okay, now when you measure anything, there are two terms which is very important. One is accuracy and another one is precision, right? So what is this accurate value, precise value, right? Okay, so measurement may have two possibilities, right? One is value may be accurate and another one is you may get precise value, right? So what is difference between this accurate value and precise value, accuracy and precision? Okay, let it be more clear with the help of one example. Let us suppose that mass of any physical quantity, suppose 5 kg, right? And if you get measured values like 4.97 kg, 4.98 kg, 4.99 kg, 5.05 kg, 5.04 kg. If you get the measured values like this one, it is very close to the true value. This one is true value. Okay. So when the measured values are very close to the true value, you can say that that is accurate value. Accuracy is more if so it is very close to the true value. So you can say accurate value refers to how close the measured value to the true value or actual value. How much it is close to the true value. If it is more close to the true value, it means accuracy is more, you get more accurate value. Then what is precise value? What is precision? Okay, if you get measured values like this one, measured values like actual mass is 5 kg, if you get 5.5 kg, 5.6 kg, 5.7 kg. So all these measured values are very close to each other, but it is very far from the actual value. So you can say that these values have more precision. It is more precise value, right? If all the measured values are very close to each other, but it is different from the actual value, right? Then you can say that it has more precise value, and depends upon the type of measuring instrument you are using. So precise value means all measured values are close to each other, right? It means it depends upon the type of measuring instrument you are using. It refers to the resolution or limit of the physical quantity to be measured by any measuring instrument. It depends upon the type of measuring instrument with the help of which you measure the physical quantity. So you get more precise, or you can say all measured values are very close to each other, right? So hope it's clear what do you mean by accuracy and what do you mean by precision. Accuracy means all measured values are close to each other. These are accurate value. Okay, all these are very close to actual value, and these are precise value. It is very far from the actual value, but all the measured values are very close to each other. Okay. So please take a screenshot of this one. After that, we will discuss about types of error. Now, types of error. First one is constant error. Constant, as the name suggests, means constant amount or same amount. The error which affects each observation by the same amount. Suppose if you want to measure 15 centimeter, but you get answer 16 centimeter. If you want to measure 17 centimeter, you get answer measured value 18 centimeter. It affects the each observation by the same amount. Here 1 centimeter difference is there, and it is due to false setup of any measuring instruments. Now second one is systematic error. This error is due to system, and its causes are known, and if causes of any error is known, you can easily minimize that error. So systematic error can be minimized easily, and it is due to this system itself. So there are different causes of this systematic error. First one is instrumental error. Instrumental error means this error, systematic error, arises due to defect in any measuring instrument, right? Suppose there is a meter scale like this one, and if in this meter scale it starts from one reading, so there is all 1 centimeter, so there is always a difference of 1 centimeter now, because it starts from 1 centimeter, not from the 0 centimeter. So due to defect in the measuring instrument, this systematic error arises. This one is instrumental error. Second one cause is personal error. Due to its own mistake, right? It arises due to improper setup of any measuring instruments. It also, you can say it is a constant error. It means this constant error also comes under this systematic errors. Now next reason is error due to external causes like temperature, pressure, humidity. If temperature, pressure, these physical conditions changes, then it can change the property of the measuring instruments, and due to this also systematic errors comes. And also due to imperfection is procedure or experimental technique. If you are using wrong technique to measure anything, to handle any measuring instrument to measure anything, then also systematic error arises. So these are due to these things: the instrumental error, personal error due to external causes, and imperfection is measuring procedure, experimental technique. Now third one is random error. Random means irregular. This error affects the quantity randomly, or you can say irregularly, not by a constant amount, and its causes are not known. Suppose voltage fluctuation, sometimes it gives reading 50 volts, sometimes 60 volts, sometimes 70 volts. Its reasons, its causes are not known. It changes from time to time. So this is random error. It affects the quantity randomly or irregularly, and its causes are not known. So how you minimize this random error? This systematic error causes you know, so you can easily minimize this systematic error by using good instrument, by improving your mistakes and all these things. But how you minimize this random error? It is due to random variations. It gives different values at different times, so it can be minimized only by taking several observations. If you take different observations and you take the mean, arithmetic mean of all these observations, then with the help of that one you can calculate random error. Now last one is least count error. First of all, what do you mean by least count? Least count is the smallest value that can be measured by any measuring instrument. Suppose I have this ordinary scale. So here starting from the 0, 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, between 1 centimeter there are 10 lines. It means smallest value that can be measured with the help of this scale is what? 0.1 centimeter. So this is nothing but least count, a smallest value that can be measured by a measuring instrument. For example, least count of a scale is 0.1 centimeter. Least count of vernier caliper. I think you heard this word, vernier caliper and screw gauge. These two are used to measure the diameter of small things, right, length of small objects. So vernier caliper and screw gauge both have one main scale and one, in case of vernier caliper, vernier scale, and in case of screw gauge, circular scale, right? So least count of this vernier scale is 0.01 centimeter. You can measure with the help of vernier caliper up to value 0.01 centimeter, and their least count of a screw gauge is 0.001 centimeter. These are least count. It means the smallest value that can be measured by these measuring instruments. And higher the smaller value, higher is its resolution. It gives more precise value. So what is this least count error? Least count error arises when a small division of main scale do not coincide with a small division of vernier scale. There are two scales, one is main scale and the one is vernier scale, right? If the zero of both the scales coincide, it means no least count error. But least count error arises if there is a difference between this main scale and vernier scale. So you can write least count error is the difference between one main scale division minus one vernier scale division. Okay. So these are about different types of error. Now how you calculate this, mainly this random error, least count error, how you calculate if it arises in any measuring instrument. So first you take a screenshot of this one. Now calculation of error. If there is any error present in the measurement, how you remove, how you calculate, how you eliminate that error. So you know systematic errors can be easily removed because its causes are known, but random error cannot be easily removed, cannot be easily minimized, right? So there are different processes to calculate random errors. Random error can be eliminated by taking arithmetic mean of all measurement as true value. One best way to eliminate random error is to make several observations and you take the arithmetic mean of all observations as true value. That different observations, if you find the arithmetic mean, it is near about the true value. So arithmetic mean, suppose A1, A2, A3, there are n number of observations. You take the mean of all these observations, n observations divided by n, A1 plus A2 plus this one divided by n. This is nothing but A mean, or you can write bar also or write m also. It represents a mean value, arithmetic mean value, and it is taken as true value or actual value. After calculating mean value, you have to calculate absolute error. How you calculate absolute error? Absolute errors, there are different observations and in all the observations there is some error. So you have to calculate errors in different observations individually. So first observation is A1 and true value is AM. So what is the difference between first observation and this true value? This is error in first observation, delta A1. AM, mean value minus first observation. Then error in second value of second observation, mean value minus second observation. In this way, absolute error in third observation is mean value minus third value, nth observation, mean value minus nth value. So this is absolute error. It is difference between the true value and different observations. It is denoted by delta A. So in this way you calculate delta A1, error in first observation, error in second observation. These are absolute error. And you take the mean of all these absolute error. This is called mean absolute error, denoted by delta A represents absolute error, and if you write delta AM, it represents mean absolute error. You know, error may be positive or negative. It may be greater than the true value or less than the true value, but error is always added, right now. So suppose mean value is 5 and first observation is 4. So it is positive. Here mean value is 5, second observation suppose 6, so it is negative. So we always take it as a mod. We always take it as positive because error is always added. So you take mod of all absolute errors, whether it may be positive or negative, it is always taken as a positive. And mean of all these absolute error is mean absolute error. After calculating mean absolute error, you have to find relative error or fractional error. What is the ratio between the true value and this mean absolute error? So this relative error is ratio between this mean absolute error and this one is mean value, right? In the numerator, you have taken mean absolute error, and the denominator you have written true value, mean value. So it is a ratio of this mean absolute error to the mean value, right? Mean absolute error to the mean value, or you can write actual value. The ratio of these two is relative error. And if you want to find percentage error, you just multiply by 100. So percentage error can be calculated by delta AM by AM into 100. In this way, you calculate these different errors: absolute error, mean absolute error, relative error, and percentage error. Now, representation of any quantity with actual value and then error also. How you represent any quantity? This AM plus minus delta AM. This first AM represents mean value or absolute mean value or true value, plus minus delta AM. This is mean absolute error. This is the way of representation of any quantity. Suppose the length of this marker is suppose 5 centimeter, and plus minus you have written 0.02, right? So this represents what? This represents mean absolute error, and this represents actual value, and this is the error in this measurements. So this is the representation of any physical quantity: mean value plus minus mean absolute error. It may be greater than the, if you take positive sign, then it may be greater than this mean value. If you take negative sign, it means error is negative. Its measured value is less than the true value, right? This is the representation of any quantity: mean value plus minus mean absolute error. Now, how you apply these, how you find these errors, we will discuss with the help of one example. It is given on page number 25. First you take a screenshot of this one, then we will discuss that example. Now, with the help of this example, it is clear that how you calculate different types of errors. It is from NCERT book, page number 25. It is one example from the NCERT book. Question is, in successive measurements, the reading of the period of oscillation of simple pendulum were found to be 2.63 second, 2.56 second. These are different times. Period of oscillations are given: 2.42 second, 2.71 second, 2.80 second, right? Now you have to calculate all these things, 5 things: mean value, absolute error, mean absolute error, relative error, and then percentage error. So how you calculate step by step? Let us see. Okay, first one is mean value. How you calculate mean value? How many observations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You take mean of all these as true value. So 2.63 plus 2.56 plus 2.42 plus 2.71 plus 2.80 divided by 5. After calculating this one, you get the value 2.625 second. This is the mean value of period of oscillation, right? In this way, you just take the mean of all these. How many observations? 5 observations, just divided by 5. You add all observations, divided by 5, you take the mean of this one. Now, second one is absolute error. How you calculate absolute error of each observation? You just it is the difference between the mean value and individual observation. So absolute error in first observation denoted by delta A1. Suppose this one is A1 na, this one is A2, this one is A3, this one you have taken A4, and last one is A5. So absolute error in first observation delta A1 is A mean. You have A mean minus A1. So A mean is how much? 2.625 minus first observation is 2.63. So you get, when you difference these two, you get how much? Yes, 0.01 second or minus sign, right? In the same way, delta A2, AM minus A2, AM mean is 2.625, second observation is 2.56. It is also, you get, when you subtract these two, you get 0.06 second. In this way, you calculate delta A3. Delta A3, it means mean value 2.625 minus third observation 2.42. Then difference becomes 0.20 second. Then fourth value, delta A4 and delta A5. You get delta A4 as mean value 2.625 minus fourth value is what? 2.71. When you subtract these two, you get minus 0.09 second. Then A5, mean value is how much? 2.625 minus fifth value is 2.80. You subtract these two, you get minus 0.18 second. In this way, you calculate absolute error in each observation. Then third one is mean absolute error. You take the mean of all these absolute error in different observations. Then you calculate mean absolute error. It is represented by delta A mean, and it is nothing but mod of A1 plus. Why I have taken mod? Error, absolute error may be positive or negative, but you always take positive value because errors are always added. Delta A2 plus delta A3 plus delta A4 plus delta A5 divided by 5. So you take mean of all these, 0.01 plus 0.06 plus 0.20 plus 0.09 plus 0.18 divided by 5. After calculating this one, you get the value 0.54 divided by 5 and you get the answer 0.108, or you can write near about 0.11 second, right? This is mean absolute error. You have to round up to two places. So after calculating mean absolute error, you have to find relative error. It's very simple. What is the formula for relative error? Ratio of what? It is the ratio of mean absolute error to the mean value. What is mean absolute error? Delta A mean by mean value, AM. Mean absolute error is 0.11 and mean value is 2.625. When you calculate this one, you get the value 0.04. In this way, you calculate relative error. And after this, last one is percentage error. It's very simple. Percentage error. You just multiply these relative error by 100. So 0.04 into 100. You get how much? Near about this 4%. Right? So in this way, you calculate all types of errors. First, you calculate mean value, mean of all observations, then absolute error, error in different observation, This is mean value minus different observation, you get absolute error. Then mean absolute error, mean of all absolute error. Then relative error, ratio of mean absolute error to the mean value. And last, percentage error. In this way, you calculate. Okay. So please take a screenshot of this one. So with this, I am going to end the class. Hope you understood today's lecture. Only one small topic is left, that is propagation of error. How you multiply, add, subtract, divide two errors. We will discuss that one in the next video, right? Up to then, students, please keep revising and stay tuned with this channel. Thank you.